Okay guys, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to my video. First of all, let's say thanks to Allah who has given me the mercy so I can record this video. And secondly, salawat and salam Allah devote to our great Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam by saying Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad, who has brought us from the darkness to the lightness. Okay guys, first let me introduce myself. My name is RAHMADINA ARSYAH. I am a student of English Education Department from Ikhlas in the 4th semester of State Islamic University of Sultan Syarif Qasim Riau. Okay guys, on this occasion, I would like to tell you about my analysis from a thesis, and let's watching my video to look my analysis from a thesis. Okay guys, the thesis that I analyze is qualitative research. So, the title from this thesis is The Correlation Between Students' Personality Traits and the Writing Ability at State Senior High School 2 Lembah Hilir, Rokan Hulu Regency. So, the writer from this thesis is Mrs. Sutiani, and the context from this thesis is Faculty of Education and Teacher Training, State Islamic University of Sultan Syarif Qasim Riau, Pekanbaru, 2016. Okay guys, I'm going to analyze the chapter 1 from this thesis. Okay, there are some points in the chapter 1 of this thesis, such as the background of the research, and then is the identification of the problems, the limitation of the problems, and then the formulation of the problems, and then is the objective of the research, the significance of the research, and the last is defining the terms. Okay guys, I'm going to analyze the first point of this thesis. Okay, the first point of this thesis is the background of the research. Okay, for the background of the research that I was learned from the book of Mr. Shafi'i, and the title from this book is From Paragraphs to a Research Report, a Writing of English for Academic Purposes. So, in this book, the background of the research should contain the philosophical points of view on the importance of problems, and then is the fact that show the daily phenomena, and then is the description on the significance of the research conducted. So guys, this thesis is related to that theory. Okay, in this thesis, there are some philosophical points or theories in the background of the research. For example, Brown in 2000, and then is Yan Zhang in 2008, and then is Huge in 1983, and then is Andres in 2002, and etc. Okay, for the fact that show the daily phenomena in the background of this research is, there are some of the 11th grade students at State Senior High School 2 Rambahiri Rokan Hulu still had some difficulties in writing English. Okay guys, for the description on the significance of the research conducted is, the personality traits is ideal for each student. They have differences in gaining the goal of learning process because of the differences of personality traits, especially in learning foreign language. So guys, based on my explanation before, the background of the research in this thesis are related with the theories that I learned in my class. Okay guys, we next to the next point of this thesis, that is the defining the terms. So guys, based on the theory that I learned in my class, and based on the theory in Mr. Shafi'i's book, in defining the terms, you are required to define definitely the importance of the key terms found and used in your title. So, the source that you can use is only the printed documents, books, articles, magazines, newspaper, research report either published or unpublished, dictionary, and the like. So, in this thesis, the writer defining the term as correlation, personality traits, and writing ability. So, for all of the terms that she defines are based on the expert from the printed document, such as according to Griswold in 2008, and then is according to Gary Anderson and Nancy Arsenault in 1998, and then is according to Hornby in 2010, and etc. So, in the defining the terms in this thesis are related to the theory that's I learned in my class. Okay guys, we next to the next point of this thesis is the point is setting of the problem. So guys, based on the theory that I was learned in my class and based on Mr. Shafi's book too, in the setting of the problem, you need to represent or restate the serious effects of statements that you regard problematic to the current theories adopted or reviewed. So guys, in the thesis, in the setting of the problem in this thesis is related with the theory, because the way how the writer identified the problems is related with the theory. The writer goes to the school to look the problems among the student, and the problems among the student is on the writing ability. So, the setting of the problem in this thesis is related to the theory that I was learned in my class. Okay, the next point is identification of the problems. Okay guys, based on Mr. Shafi's book, identifying the problems is aiming at finding out the most specific and scientific problems to be discussed, and finally, they can become the limitations of the problems discussed. So guys, in this thesis is related to that theory. The identification of the problems in this thesis consists of some problems. So, the main problems is some of the 11th grade students at senior high school to Rambahili Rokan Hulu Regency were still encountering the difficulties in learning English, especially in writing. So, the identification of the problem in this thesis is related to the theory that I was learned in my class and the theory from Mr. Shafi's book. Okay, the next point is the limitation of the problems. So, based on the theory from Mr. Shafi's book, you have to focus and limit your research problems based on the specific problems. So guys, based on that theory, the writer from this thesis have to limit her problems too. So, the problems on the study was limited into the correlation of students' personality traits in the writing ability of 8th grades at State Senior High School to Rambahili Rokan Hulu Regency. So, the limitation of the problem of this thesis is related to the theory from Mr. Shafi'i. Okay, the next point is the formulation of the problems. Okay, based on the material that I was learned in my class, in minimal, the formulation of the problems consists of 3 questions. But in the real thesis, I found 1 problem in the formulation of the problems. So, there is a little contrary between the material that I was learned in my class and the real thesis that I was analyzed. So, the formulation of the problem from this thesis is: do personality traits within learners make any significant correlation toward writing ability in English of the 11th grade students at State Senior High School to Rambah Hilir? So guys, there is a little contrary between formulation of the problem from this thesis with the material that I was learned in my class. Okay, the next point is the objective of the research. So guys, based on the material that I was learned in my class, there are 2 styles in writing objective of the research. So, the first style is specific objective by using points, and the second style is general objective by using paragraph or single statement. So, in this thesis, the writer used specific objective by using points. So, the objective of the research in this thesis is related to the material that I was learned in my class. Okay guys, the last point of the chapter 1 from this thesis is the significance of the research. So, based on the material that I was learned in my class, there are 2 styles in writing significance of the research. The first is specific significance. That is, the purpose from the research comes from the students to the writer. And the second style is general significance. That is, the purpose of the research comes from the writer to the students. So, in this thesis, the significance of the research in this thesis is using specific significance, because the purpose of the research comes from the students to the writer. So, the writer used specific significance. So guys, the significance of the research in this thesis is related to the material that I was learned in my class. Okay guys, that's all my analysis in chapter 1 from this thesis. I do apologize for my mistakes and thanks for you watching. And last I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.